Hi, and welcome back to Helicopter Simulator. I haven't been in this for a couple of so weeks, so I thought I'd dip back in, carry on working through this list. I'm going to have a go at this storm damage repair one, which needs the flare. I kind of realised that I'm very close to wanting to avoid all the ones that use the rope, just because the rope thing is really quite annoying. Right, so everything looks good. Let's go. Right, see if it starts up without crashing. Taking a while to load. Oh, just stay looking ahead. Yes, okay.
Pilot, we are running out of electricity, probably because some of our transmission towers are damaged. Last night a huge storm broke out in the eastern mountains. This must have been the cause. Can you fly over the transmission line and tell us which ones are defective?
Yeah, absolutely. I can do that. Right, first things first, close the door. It's a while since I've done this and I've forgotten how to actually start it up. Fuel flow. Master battery. Alternator. Engage clutch. Can't remember if that's correct. Headphones on so our things are quieter. Get myself. Yeah, that looks good. Still hasn't had an update to fix that RPM readout. Right, I can see there's an aircraft. Yeah, that Cessna is up there. I don't know if they're coming into land or anything like that. Right. I'm going to guess. Ah, no! I need that. Just watching the RPMs. Okay. No
The
worrying
first one
much
we
here.
found is marked on your GPS. Once you're close, throw a flare to signal our ground team, okay?
Okay. Of course I'd do a flare rather than, I don't know, give GPS coordinates. Because GPS coordinates would be ridiculous, right? Okay, let's go. Now, can I see where I'm going? Just looking to see if I can see the transmission towers. Oh, okay, there's some there. One over there with a big yellow circle around it. Right, let's turn the flare on. I kind of feel like it's giving the game away a bit too much. Oh no. Okay, that's interesting. Actually there's one all the way at the top. So, it seems like the game, for some reason, has actually marked all of the problem transmission towers. Okay. This game's adorable. See the train down there. Is that the station it's stopping in? It's a very, very long train for a very short station, has to be said. Right. I realise I'm not heading directly, but I wanted to sort of follow the line of the transmission towers and get a bit more forward speed. So I guess you're gonna make me do them all in order. God, I love low budget games with hardwired triggers.
There it is. Signal this tower with a flare.
Oh. Oh, okay. I take it back. Right, let's come around this way. Doesn't seem to... Well, I suppose it is, isn't it? Ah! Ah! That's annoying. So using the trigger on the left hand to try and engage with the cockpit also fires the flare, so I guess you have to turn the flare off. Okay, so let's just try and hover a little bit. And... yeah, overshoots.
Other towers are still
Yeah,
damaged.
there we go.
I'll mark it on your GPS.
Okay, so apparently I have to fire a flare to turn the flare off. Right, oh, it's trigger fire, so presumably I can... Ah, okay, so I don't have to turn it on with the trigger. Right, well, I take it back. I was kind of misreading how far out the GPS was and things. Although, of course, I've confused everyone by just dumping a random flare down there. Recently, may have gone up before this, I have played a little bit more of a submarine simulator I happened upon, and I kind of feel like it's got the same thing going for it that this has, except this obviously actually has missions that you can fly and everything, and while the missions are a bit, you know, scripted, shall we say, very, very scripted, they're fun in that they give you a reason to come in and look about. There's a bit of a narrative. It lets you basically come into a simulator and it gives you a scripted role play, I suppose. And I think it's definitely something that submarine simulator, submarine VR, it's definitely something it could do with, is something like this. For example, when I was playing with it yesterday, I was going around under the sea, as you would in a submarine, I guess, and there was lots of plane wrecks. I mean, lots of plane wrecks, way more than made sense, really. But at the same time, I could kind of see, have a mission where you've got to go and mark the plane wrecks, or mark some plane wrecks, or stuff like that. And as I said in that video as well, maybe go around and identify different species or photograph them or something like that. It kind of has that feel to it that that would work, same as this, because this isn't exactly difficult gameplay. It's not the most advanced gameplay loop by any means, but having these little role play missions to just come in and play out the script makes sense. It gives you a reason to explore the map. It's fun. I like it. I can see why it wouldn't be for some people. It seems like a fun, chill way to spend a Sunday lunchtime when it's wet and horrible outside. Right.
There it is. Signal this tower with a flare.
Okay, see if we can do this. No, it's going to be short. That was long. That looks good.
One more and we're done for today. Follow the position of the next tower on your GPS.
I think I can see it. This definitely would have made more sense if there was some actual visible damage that you were looking for, and it was up to you to... Yeah, it would have made sense to kind of guide you to the start transmission power line, and then have you just fly along it until you've identified the actual damage and things like that, that would be, I feel like that would have been better. It's still fun. You definitely hear the wind effect now. It's kicking in. How are we doing for fuel? About half a tank left. Okay. We'll definitely do the thing of flying back to base again, just because it's sort of fun. Close enough to trigger. Come on. I'm sure I could hit it from here. How close do you want me to be?
There it is. Signal this tower with a flare.
Oh, shot.
Great.
Got
Our
it.
ground team is solving the problem. Thank you so much again.
Right. Oh. Presumably I could have just given them a lift up here. But okay. Right, let's head back home. I think one time I'm definitely going to come in and try and fly over the mountains, see where it takes me. If you just hit the edge of the map or not. Might take a while though. Let's see, the GPS is still pointing at something, even though I finished the mission. That's kind of interesting. Let's try and get a bit of speed on. Come on. Trying to make it, there we go. Trying to make it to 70. Oh. Come on. There we go. Scoot over this bridge. Oh, that's quite nice. Proper sense of speed just as I scoot over this. It's really nice. Definitely tuned through the fuel coming back down. I should try this with the different weather as well. Kind of have it on partly clouded over, I think, or something like that. So I think you can have like perfectly sunny days and yeah, everything up to an actual storm. Be interesting to try it in a storm. What's that that's wrapped around my leg? Can't quite make out what that's supposed to be. Slow, easy fly back, I think. Fuel looking okay. Fuel's a real problem for me today. Not really a real problem, but like my car's getting quite old, and I should have probably replaced it, a good couple of years ago. and I was kind of going to do it at some point in 2020, and then, you know, pandemic hit and things like that, so there was an awful lot of working from home, for me at least, for a good chunk of that year. So I very, very seldom used the car. I mean, even before then, I very seldom used the car. And to, you know, give you an idea, I think in the past 3 years, no, past 2 years, I should say, I've averaged filling up about 3 times a year, I think, something like that. Roughly the only time it gets used is to drive out to the supermarket, do the weekly shop at a weekend, that kind of thing. Because I live in reasonable walking distance to the office. It's about 3.5 kilometres walk to the office, so I tend to try and do that unless the weather's really foul. You know, good exercise and all that kind of stuff. So, you know, the car, even though it is old and needs replacing, and yeah, it's a bit knackered and stuff like that, there wasn't much sense in actually going shopping for a new car. A, because, you know, at the height of the pandemic, actually car shopping was fraught with all kinds of problems anyway. And now things have relaxed a bit. I can't bring myself to do it. I hate shopping for cars anyway. I can't stand cars. I really quite detest them. They're sort of necessary evil. So I keep kind of eking it out and keeping it going, things like that. And, you know, I just got it through its MOT last week. I actually passed first time as well, which was quite a surprise. So yeah, I just kind of keep putting off actually. Oh, I can't. There we go. The collective got stuck. I think I lost tracking of my hand. Okay, let's just recover from that. So yeah, situation is, yeah, it's kind of old, it's knackered, and I keep putting off actually replacing it. But at the moment I got this problem where it's got a new battery in it, and I've had a couple of things seen to and everything, but even now sometimes it takes multiple goes to actually start it. Like the starter just doesn't do anything. It seems like it's an electrical problem, and I haven't filled up petrol for, I can't remember, it must have been the start of summer, and as of the time of recording we're sort of mid-October now. So I've got about, I don't know, 40 miles worth of fuel left, something like that, and I've got the fuel warning light on. You know, it comes on early. Yeah, deliberately, it's designed that way. You know, kind of all you may want to think about filling up at some point soon. But I've got this problem of, like this morning, the car started at the first time when I went outside, drove to the supermarket, warning light for fuel came on, or you may want to fill up in the next 45 miles kind of thing. So, well, there's a petrol station next door, I'll fill up on the way back. And I come out of the supermarket, load up the car with all the shopping, go to start it, nothing. It took, you know, like 5 goes of turning it off and turning it on again before it started up. At which point I'm like, I'm really not that keen on going and filling it up right now. Because it's like a 200 metre drive to the petrol station, and I'll be turning the engine off again, because petrol stations frown on you filling a car while the engine's running for some strange reason. And yeah, it's one thing to get stuck in a car park of a supermarket and have to call the rescue service. It's another thing to get stuck at a petrol pump when there's people waiting behind you. And while we still have fuel delivery problems here in the UK and all that kind of stuff, so, you know, there's potentially bigger queues and all that kind of thing. So yeah, that's a long rambly story about how managing fuel is part of my real life at the moment, because it's like, okay, what I'm going to have to do, I think, is get the car started again at some point this week, take it for a really long run, hoping that the problem is just the battery not holding enough charge or something ridiculous like that. Dip into a petrol station that looks quiet and hope it starts again and get it home. what I really should do is just go, it's nearly out of petrol, let's actually scrap the damn thing and buy a new one. Maybe that's what I should do. Right, anyway, that waffle lasted me quite nicely. To the landing pad, let's see if we can put it down gently. Gently. Oh, there's a little bump just as I got close. I wonder if that's a kind of ground effect thing. Right, I do believe. I want you to turn off. There we go. Disengage that. Put it back up. Turn off the fuel flow. Turn off these. I don't know if I need to. But there we go. Not the tidiest landing. A little bit close to the edge. My tail's hanging out over the runway. People might get upset about that. I mean, they would if I actually had. Oh my god, that's not great. I could have landed better, actually. I should have actually made a little bit more effort. But let's just say that's fine. This is fine. Exit to menu. Right, there we go. Well over half. Well, I say well over halfway. Just over halfway. So since most of these can be done without anything or just with the flare, so it looks like there's only one more that needs the rope. Yeah, it looks like the nuclear power plant and wreckage is the one that needs the rope. Yeah, okay, good, because I hate the rope ones. So the next one needs a rope. Maybe I'll do that next time. I'll get that out of the way, and then from then on in it's just shooting flares or not actually needing any special equipment. Then at some point I should try some of these machine gun ones and everything. I see the dev is actually asking for buying a coffee. I don't know, maybe I should buy them a coffee and ask them if they'll fix the RPM hand thing. Are they hands? Can't remember if you call them hands. I just realised that the back skid of that helicopter's stuck in the tarmac. That's never going to take off, is it? That's a problem. Anyway, that's Helicopter Simulator again. So, yeah, it's still my intention to keep going through. I've just noticed there's that last one is some kind of tutorial again. I don't quite know what that would be. Actually, let's have a quick look. I'm going to play it, just want to read the description. This tutorial is fast, without many explanations. Understand there's a checklist to memorise. Oh, okay. Oh! Do you know, I could have done with that. Many times I should have paid attention, because I'm still not sure if I'm actually starting it up quite right. Okay, so there is a free flight one. Maybe I should do that as my can I get over the edge of the mountains one, shouldn't I? Well, the skull one's interesting. But there we go. So I'm going to call a halt there. So thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.